Fellow Zambians, we are in Tanshibandu. The progress of the country is in the hands of the people. Another comment for today. Let's reflect. Let's think. Next year is election year, guys. And who do you trust with the country? That's the big question. Like I've stated up here, in Zambia, we have to end foolishness. We have to end poverty. We have to end corruption. We have to end, unfortunately, despair. We have to end injustice. We have to end inequality. These are vices that are killing our country. They're seriously killing our country. They're choking our country to death. Literally, they are choking our country to death. So I may continue to talk about this because it's very important for every citizen. It's not worth the time to be thinking about what you're going to do a week before an election. It's irresponsible, actually. It's not patriotic, and we need to start to think about what you're going to do right now. Right now is the time. Right now is the time to start to think about what you want to do next year. It is very, very serious for every citizen to start to think about what is it that needs to happen next year. Stop falling for mob psychology. Do not fall for mob psychology. Right now, the wind says you have to blow this way. You have to blow this way. Or because this is the biggest group, that's where everybody's going there. That's where I need to go. This is what has killed our country. That mindset must change. Right now, I'm telling you, that mindset, every citizen must change that mindset. If you're thinking that way right now, I need you to put a period. Stop and sit back and think. Oh, it's this, it's church, it's BF, it's whatever. Oh, without any basis whatsoever. Stop and think about Zambia. Don't think about a party. Don't think about some guy because they're famous. No, first think about Zambia. Okay, please. First, think about Zambia. There is no reason to get excited. Don't be excited for nothing. All of us citizens should not be excited for nothing. Should not be excited just because somebody is excited over here, somebody is excited over here, and you get excited for nothing. Your excitement will kill your country. This is not a time for games, guys. It's not a time for games. It just isn't. So sit back and think. Okay, it's just not in time for games, guys. It's not time for games, and we have to be serious about this. So I'll pose the questions here. Who do you trust with the country? We, the people, have to decide. 2021. We have to end all these vices here that I've listed here. But I wanted to take it's going to be fairly short. But I wanted to take a moment to show you some of the foolishness or the poverty of mindset that goes on in our country that really, really, really makes us retrogress in the way we do things. The way we do things is unprogressive. The way what we see as cool or what we see as, oh man, that's something. What we praise is most of the time, more often than not, it is foolish. It is foolish. Instead of asking pertinent questions, we praise stuff that is foolish in our country. And I'll tell you, I'll give you an example right now. I'm going to play a video of the mayor of Lusaka, Mao Sampa. Okay. Before I continue, let me play that video of Mao Sampa here. Let me cue it up again so I can play it. All right. Let's see this.
Guest on Studio Ken is someone who, whatever he says or touches, leaves people talking. Just like this interview, he said we should do it from his bedroom. Yes, you heard that one right. He once had ambitions to be president of Zambia, but now he's mayor of Lusaka. Mao Sampa, thank you for hosting us.
Kennedy, thank you for coming through. Hello, viewers.
So much has happened in your life, so much so that people have even started questioning your mental well-being. Are they right to be worried, or maybe it's just the work of your enemies?
At first, I used to question myself again. I said, what is this thing they're talking about? I think it was started by the editor, a good friend, a good journalist, I must commend him, Joseph Mwenda of Bigas. I think he started that line. It's so funny. Day one I arrived at the council, I started hearing reports. He's failed as the mayor, he's failed day one, before I could even locate the bathroom at the civic center. So I guess that's the position of mayor. There's just so much magnifying glass around you. Now, when you talk about, the mayor is mad, he's mad, he's mad. I don't know, I started thinking and questioning myself, are they real? Then I remembered, I first heard this line on my uncle Michael Sata. Even him, they were there, he's mad, especially the MMD. In 2008, they even went to try to stop him from filing in his nomination, that his mental capacity is mad, that he can't stand as a president because he was mad. And by then I was a nephew who used to hate me. Why are these people so evil? This is a nice man. What are they saying he's mad? They were playing politics, yeah?
But are people right to be worried?
No, when they came to me, first they saw me, they just didn't understand me when I became mayor. No, they are wrong. Do I look like I'm mad? I came to a conclusion. Maybe my reasoning capacity was sometimes.
I'm going to forward this a little bit.
Certain people.
I'm going to forward it.
Professional, which I was. Then I went in politics as MP of Matero. Then as deputy minister, I needed to behave different. As a minister,
but it doesn't mean that once you're an MP or you're a politician, you have to behave in such a manner that people.
Okay, I'm gonna forward it again. I need you to see what I want to.
So, as deputy minister,
what I want you to see.
Bedroom. So we are here because I have nothing to hide.
Okay, good.
Physically in my bedroom. This is where I sleep. Muliomo Nsambila. Wawawa,
What is Wawawa, by the way? It's caused so much talk. What is Wawawa, before I forget?
Oh, that lingo, I learned it from the streets of
What does it mean?
They call me father, this Wawawa just mean, and so on and so forth. Or the way I was saying, when I found in Chicago, people were dancing, kissing, hugging, Wawawa, everything else that goes with that. They were smoking shisha, they were touching each other, they were whatever.
While we consider ourselves to be privileged to be invited and do this interview from your bedroom, bedrooms are sacred places. Where
not for me, I'm an open book. What you don't know about me, Kennedy, and viewers, by now you never know anything about me. I'm an open book, and you said drama surrounding. I think it goes with the position of mayor. If you're gonna work, I read around the world, yes, mayor's office, people like to hammer you and they want you to perform. A good example is when I just became mayor, suddenly, mayor's suits, they are with my big bell bottom, he has no fashion. I dress casual to receive the president or the commentary. I said, mayor dressing is pathetic, the color code they were taking on me. So that has made me improve. I've gone to their level. Now I wear tight suits, tight trousers. I wear polo, I wear Nike, and they love it. So I'm playing to them. I take criticism in a positive way, and it helps me change. So drama, maybe any performing mayor is going to have drama. Only a lazy mayor people will not talk about. So I'm determined to perform.
Hello, you're watching Studio Ken. Make sure you don't miss any episode of Studio.
So I thought there was some more here. Hold on.
To drama.
How so?
Where's there was a part where you were showing
learning. Okay. So I get positive criticism, so to speak.
You keep on mentioning your late uncle, Michael Sata, was president of this country.
Okay, let me back up a little bit and see here.
I think I'm close to 50.
Okay. Right here. Let's see.
And then I rest, but then I watch TV direct there as well. I multitask. But then I love my wardrobe. That's the best part. Come here, my shoes, my hats, of all manner of hats, caps here, all type. I think I'm close to 50 hats, all manner of hats.
That's a bedroom.
It's a hobby. I collect them all the time. There are many. My white shirts here, when I want to wear smart, my blue shirts, accumulated all the time, my casual wear, khaki, for when I'm going to the market and all that, my jeans, black jeans, blue jeans, my jewelry from Jerusalem, my watches and whatever, my shoes down here. I try to give some of them out. This is what I meant. My hood, I like my hood, Michael Jordan. I think I have close to 20 different track suits, my t-shirts, my suits, my casual shirts. Here where I bath, my tub when I want to soak myself, lay in there for an hour listening to music in the night, casual shirts all over, my sneakers, and then bingo, put my drinks in there.
Hello, you're watching Studio Ken. Make sure.
All right, that's enough. Okay. Anyway, the reason I wanted to show that is that there are stars in the United States of America. Stars in the United States of America have bedrooms like that. So you have to ask, why does a mayor of Zambia have a bedroom like that? To have a bedroom like that, you must have a lot of money. And but in Zambia, you don't question. Wow, that's good. You show off. There's a culture of showing off in Zambia. Now that's not exactly the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make here is that this is a display of significant inequality between this is the country where people, children, babies, mothers are dying every day of abject poverty. They are dying literally every day. This is a country where you have nothing in hospitals. This is a country where, people dying of people who need only a little bit more in order to get out of poverty. They wouldn't need much to get out of poverty. Zambians would not need much to get out of poverty. $100 a month or $150 per month to a family in Zambia gets them out of poverty. I'm serious. It just gets them out of poverty. If you started giving some people in Kalingalinga or people in village, $200 per month, they'll be out of poverty. No, just think about that. Think about that for a minute. $200 or per month, those people will be out of poverty. That abject poverty would be gone. So it doesn't take much to get people out of poverty in Zambia, but nobody does it. Our government is inept. It won't do it. But look at this man. That bedroom is like the bedroom of a star in the United States. And the question you need to be asking is, where did you get the money to live such a lavish lifestyle? In most developed countries, that, I assure you, that would trigger an investigation, an audit. It would trigger an audit. You would be audited. Somebody said, wait a minute. If there does not appear to be an apparent source of income consistent with your lifestyle, you get audited. That's what happens in developed countries. I'm dead serious on that one. You get audited. They'll go through your financial history. They'll go through all your statements, your tax filings, and everything. And if they find money that you cannot account for, they got you. You are in big trouble. If you cannot account for a source of money, you are in big trouble. If you received some kind of huge sum of money, a gift from somewhere, you have to explain who gave it to you and why they gave it to you and for what reason. If it is found to be unwarranted or fraudulent or something like that, to be corrupt or something, they got you. In Zambia, we don't ask these questions. You find abantu chimenich. Jali kala wino chimeya. Jali kala wino chief mameni miava. That's our mindset, Mozambique. You can't even think for a moment. Seriously? Look at your own kids. Look at your own kids. Look at the children walking into hospitals. They have nothing. And then you see this. You gotta ask questions. How did he get here? It's the same thing with the president of Zambia. Forbes, as of 2018, this is according to Forbes, Edgar Lungu was worth, as of 2018, approximately $400 million. From about nothing when he started, before he became president, from about 70,000 or 70,000, somewhere there. He was worth, as of 2018, $400 million. As of the same time, Barack Obama, president of the United States of America, was worth approximately $40 million US. So here is a guy, Edgar Lungu, worth $400 million in a country that is rated one of the poorest in the world. And here is a president, a remarkable president of the United States of America, worth 40 million, 10 times less, 40 million US dollars, in a country that is one of the wealthiest in the world. See the point? You see the point? Nobody will ask questions. Can you explain that? I'll tell you a quick explanation right here. In Zambia, if you want to get rich, filthy rich, fast, get into a political office, get into government. In the developed world, if you want to get rich quick, go into the private sector. Because people in the developed world do not go into government to get rich. Because there's no corruption. It's not perfect, but there's no corruption. There's no fraud. You can't get away with it. The only benefit that you get is a salary that you get and all your retirement benefits and all that. That's all. That's all you get. You don't get they don't give you a house, they don't give you free cars and all that stuff. No, those things, you have to buy them yourself from working. So people don't get into government to get rich quick. They get into government to save. And they save. And how do I know they save? How do you know they save? Because people get the services that they expect from their government. Roads are maintained. The water system never fails. There is sanitary sewer that works 24/7. There is no load shedding. Power is on constantly. See what I'm saying? You go to a government office, you will be served very quickly. That's the difference. So, before you get excited about stupid things, Guys, think. How can this person have a bedroom like this? And then we have people that are dying all over the place. You know, we don't have any government institution, any kind of system that will say, wait a minute, what's going on here? Where did you get this money from? Where do you get this money from? To sustain such a lifestyle here, you know. We are talking about Zambia, the poorest country in Africa. We are not poor. We are not poor. We have all these resources, but by the standard of living of the Zambian people, it is one of the poorest country in the world. So I just wanted you to think about that. I wanted you to show that, but before I get to the most important thing I wanted to talk about tonight, but I just found this to be, you know, kind of, you know, really ridiculous, and if the day that Zambians start to see through some of these things differently, we will all be better off. The moment we all start to see these things differently and ask questions, we will all be better off. You know. Let me get to this. To my main question here for tonight. You know, 2021. Oh, it end foolishness and all that stuff. Savage Shimba held a television. I'm sorry, it was a radio interview that he did. I think it was yesterday, and he was talking about, you know, the UPP policies and how what essentially touched on his vision for Zambia. In a nutshell, you could sum it up as he was, you know, talking about his vision for Zambia, what he plans to do, his dissatisfactions, how he sees everything. So I wanted to listen to that for just a little bit here. So this is Savage Shimba. I'm going to play this right now. I hope I don't run into any hiccups with it. So we go to Savage Shimba, and I'll start at some point here where I think the pertinent discourse is.
Because that brings about, like, you know, compromisation. Understand what I'm talking about? Genuine corruption fight, where the ACC is operating professionally. We are aware. In fact, probably we are going to have another PEDA program. I think 2 hours. We will come with the evidence. We will begin to show you the details of the genuine cases that the ACC has taken, the powers that be, that in so has stolen, and these are the cases. They have not been acted upon. The cases that the ACC is acted upon, they are those that are coming. If the Minister of Home Affairs doesn't like Stotela, he calls the ACC or some other powerful person. President Lungu, I'm telling you, I have a feeling that he may not even be aware. Somebody else say, that one's becoming powerful. That one overshadow me. ACC, please find something on the so. The corruption which has taken place under the PF is bigger than what we are seeing. And we understand it, especially in the construction sector. That's why we're talking about RDA. There must be a friends. Look what the chief works. Some of those that were done 5 years ago, they are already port-ward. You know what I'm talking about? They are port-ward, cheap works. And yet the country must repay that money before these roads even accept the lifespan which shows in the contract. Look at the roads, look at the drainages. You can't give cadres. You can't give a company dealing in stationery, dealing in toilet cleaning. You give them a contract to do roads. Since when did they become, engineers to do roads or to do drainages? But talking about all this, what you are saying is that what we need in this country is truth. We don't need witch hunt. Witch hunt, what is happening is not against the fight against corruption under the PF. It's witch hunt. The real corrupt people are eating with you as a leader. Real corrupt people. Really corrupt. Those who are working because of petty jealousies, oh no, let's find a way to attack them. This country is now being viewed to be very much unstable.
Now, by and large.
And the government itself is part of this perception of instability.
All right, by and large, how would you actually, describe the way, the whole way over how these, statutory bodies actually it can be brought back to normalcy?
Okay, this is good now. This is good.
Statutory bodies We don't need them. These officers you call DC, we don't need them. This is a UPP policy. The started bodies that you need, I must clarify this point. They are those that really serve a particular need and must be very, very, very clear. But they need not be in charge of implementation. I'll give an example. We had public works departments, PWDs, which you will restore across councils. Each council had a PWD. Each PWD was in charge of road maintenance. They were doing roads, they were building houses. Matero was built by PWDs. Chilenje PWDs. Kamwala PWDs. I'm talking about those Kamwala houses. Now, when you look at some of those houses, including Matero, look at those years we are talking about in the early mid-60s. Those were good houses by then. They even had some other better houses. They were building houses across the country. Each district had what was called second class or first class, and then had what was called, by the way, location. Shall I say location? I want to say location. All locations were built by councils. There's what is called site and service. Councils collect service fees. Site and service means the councils must be in charge of plot allocation, where they go into an area, they build the roads there, they do the sewer network, and then you go and get a plot from there. That's site and service. They will collect the garbage. They will make sure the area is clean. You have water and you have networked sewer systems. Now you go and you take over these powers. First of all, they got the houses. They sold them. There's nothing wrong with that. But the council should have been in charge. You don't decide at the top that, oh, we are selling houses. No, let the councils be in charge. Let them sell the houses, but let the council manage the funds they sell. When they sell, let that money go into building more houses for the people. Because councils offer, or they give, shall I say, low-cost housing, controlled kind of, rentals rates. Because right now, Zambia is being exploited. The same 3-bedroom house in the same area is costing here 10,000 kwacha, and another 20,000 kwacha, including $2,000, $3,000. In dollars, there are some houses, 3-bedroom, in the same locality. And you look at the quality and so forth, it's the same. How can we have such a country like that? We need order. That's why, under the UPP, I can assure you, there will be restoration of order in the country. And there is no political grouping that has a plan comparable to that of the UPP. When we scrap off RDA, we are going to create 1,050,000 jobs. 1,050,000 jobs. Because when we scrap off RDA, which is just facilitating awarding contracts to Chinese and all kinds of foreigners, how can you go and give the construction of houses for defense personnel? You go and give it the Chinese. Are you telling me after 50 years we have no bricklayers who can build those houses? Kukula Maya and the Chimbuso toilet, you give a contract to the Chinese. We have bricklayers in the country. Under the UPP, in fact, it will be tough. Some of us, when are speaking, we are saying, no, all you are shouting, you are doing what? No, it's the anger, the fury, because we need to be angry. Unless you are angry at the situation, you cannot bring about change in the country. So scrap for this. Then when we take back the power to build to local authorities, then we are going to see councils begin to build houses again through PWDs. Each PWD will recruit, they will employ all these bricklayers. Drivers will be needed. There's no driver who will be jobless under the UPP, because power will be taken to people. We'll scrap off those of the DCs. Because these DCs, what do they do? How do you, look, you have a district. In that district, there's a mayor or district chairperson. And then you go and appoint a DC. And so the DC is there to monitor central government programs. Central government programs must be implemented by local authorities. Then we are going to departmentalize each and every authority. By the way, the county system we've been talking about, where each district will become a county under the APP plan, with full powers. Those mayors don't have the full powers. The mayor will be the vision carrier in a district. And we want to see city-states image. We need to see a Zambia where each and every district is moving at the same level in terms of development. And by the way, under the APP plan, there's nothing like provincial minister or provincial, what do you call them? This provincial structure, they'll be scrapped off. There's nobody at the province, back about that. When money moves from the minister of local government or whichever ministry, it goes to the province, then from the province, by the time that money must go to the district, it's already squandered. And nothing gets to the people. So ours is a simple plan. We streamline operations. We want empowered counties to emerge. Why should I have ERP, Energy Regulation Board? Why should we have it? That ERP was scrapped off. Because what we want is that let councils can be agents. They can monitor. They are the ones that can that can award. If you're talking about the standards in terms of the management, how are you managing filling stations, whatever, communication and so forth like that. Councils are corporations. They are statutory corporations actually. So why should we create bodies that take over the functions of councils? It's council workers who must work. When you go to Israel, for instance, I was on a study program to look at how local authorities work in Israel. In Israel, mayors are more powerful than ministers because the cabinet minister does not implement any program. Or government ministries, by the way. All the money goes to cities. You got the city of Ariel. There are industries there. There are jobs. Each city creates jobs. Mayors are very powerful because money goes to them, to councils, to implement programs. That way, we are going to separate policy formulation from implementation. So that the role of central government should be very lean at the top, will be to monitor how government programs of the UPP are being implemented in each and every district. So you are calling on young people to be part of the change, which is going to yield positive results.
All right, let's get to look at the freedom of speech and the public order.
Guys, I hope you listen to that. That right there, that is a vision. That is a man with a practical plan to bring Zambia back on track. This guy has a lot more to say than that, but I just wanted to give you a snippet of what comes out of this guy's mouth. He didn't mince words, but he knows exactly what he wants. He knows what he wants for Zambia. But what is more is that the passion that this guy exudes is genuine. He exudes a genuine passion for Zambia. He does not want foolishness in our country, and boy, is there foolishness in our country right now. It is unbelievable. Some of the stuff that I was just telling you about Mao Sampan, all this stuff, that the mindset rot is a mindset. There's a mindset rot. If this guy does not think like most Zambians, I don't mean to offend anybody. He does not think like most Zambians. This guy thinks very differently. I could say, listen to Akainde, listen to whichever these other politicians, Winter Kavimba or these other politicians, Chiluvia Tayali or whoever it is, all these people. He is unique in his mindset. This guy is unique in his mindset. And he is determined. I have never seen a politician this determined in Zambia. And a politician with such practical solution to the problems that we have at hand, to the prevailing situation, to the failure of government in Zambia. What is proposing is practical, guys. I'm telling you, corruption would vanish. If what he's talking about here got implemented in Zambia, Zambia would change like nobody's business. You would be shocked at how Zambia would change. He's talking about scrapping of all these statutory bodies. Because you take the power to the local authorities, you empower them to implement government programs, which means a minister will never see any money across his desk. It is not his job to look at any contract. State House will not be looking at any contracts. All the government has to be looking at is what are the policies, and how are the policies doing? What is the budget? What is the national budget? And how much are we going to send to each of these counties? Each county will receive directly from the treasury directly to the county. And then the county who have the responsibility to appropriate those funds to the necessary developments, necessary programs, necessary projects. Whether it be building roads in public works, sewers, improving sewer systems and all that stuff. And then you can see employment mushroom, because there will be so much development going on in these independent jurisdictions like you have never seen before. With all the organs of government represented in these counties, no Zambian would have to go to Lusaka to do anything. Everything would be implemented right there in the county or district or whatever you are going to call them. He referenced it in the manifesto, in the principle, in the guiding principle. They describe them as city states. I mean, the UPP describes them as city states. But whatever they are going to call them, that's what they would be. Every organ of central government will be effectively represented there. And this power of government will be closer to the people, and the people will have a better leverage on holding the government accountable, because they don't have to travel to Lusaka. The government that will be responsible for delivery of government service is going to be right there. Pretty much everything will be right there. Hopefully you can get hopefully you can get a passport in your district. That's the goal. But this guy has that kind of thinking. He has that kind of thinking. So when we say we want things to change in Zambia, I want you guys to think about this. What this guy is saying. Well, he doesn't have a big party and all that stuff. That is also nonsense. If all of you are determined to see a change, this is the problem. Because most of I read comments when I go to this guy, and everybody who's watching says, "Whoa, this guy speaks a lot of sense. Everybody speaks a lot of sense. The guy speaks a lot of sense." But then I don't see any kind of movement towards let's all get behind this guy. Because you all want to get behind something that's big, like UPND or something that is huge. You just want the thrill of a win. Why is it impossible for everybody that wants this change? Because it has been quite demonstrated. It's been demonstrated quite well over the past month, within the past month, that the youth are dissatisfied about something, and they've articulated what their issues are. And they know the government right now is just playing games with them. The PEF is just playing games with them. They are throwing a bone to the youth like dogs to fight over. Maybe they'll chew on it for a while and forget about it. They are proposing no policy changes that will make any difference. They are not proposing anything whatsoever. They want you to travel from across all corners of Zambia to go and see a minister in Lusaka. You tell me how that is going to help you. Today, Zambia, the destiny of Zambia as of today is consigned to Lusaka. Everything is in Lusaka. If you want to do anything, you have to go to Lusaka. And this guy is up to the task. This guy is up to the task of ending this stupidity. He's up to the task of ending it. So it doesn't matter. Let's get a mindset. It doesn't matter if we are all, because this is all in our hands. If we are all determined to change Zambia, it does not matter how big a party he has. You can be his party. We are his party. If we say this guy's vision is consistent with the change that we're seeking, then it doesn't matter how big his party is. What matters is we are his party. You can decide today or tomorrow, we are his party. And all youth countrywide say, we are going for this because this is the change we want. We have not heard this kind of change, articulated by Haikande Hichilema. And that's true. I have not heard any articulation of any such plan by Haikande Hichilema. Haikande Hichilema is simply typically politicking. That's all he's doing. He's politicking. That's all he's doing. You will not, I guarantee you will not see Zambia change when HH go into State House. There will not be any change. They are already fools in the UPND that have failed the government before, recycled fools, and they are there, poised. They've brought their money in there, poised, staking their positions in the UPND, poised to take over government. I guarantee you, you will not see any change that you are looking for. It will not come out of the UPND. This guy is the change. This guy is the change. Seve Chishimba is the change. Nobody is perfect. But this guy, you just listen for yourself. You just listen for yourself. I encourage you to keep listening to this guy because I think he will be coming back. I encourage you, all the youth and my fellow citizens, to continue to listen to this guy. This guy is angry, and he has been angry for a long time. This guy has been angry since 2009 when he saw the stupidity of politicians who have destroyed the country, jumping from the MMD into the PF and taking the PF over. The PF, a party for which he crafted the manifesto, a progressive manifesto. And he saw that dream of his get shattered because Mr. Sata became desperate and he started getting money from old politicians, and they started essentially to buy positions in the party. This is what has happened to the UPND. UPND is not what it was. It is hijacked right now. It is hijacked and we are not going anywhere with it. If you want change, if we want change, we need to listen to this. I really strongly advise you to listen to this guy because 5 years is a long time. If we get it wrong next year, we are in big trouble. Zambia is in big trouble. We have to put Zambia before anything else. We have to put Zambia before anything else. Think about your children. Think about your future. Think about your posterity. We have to put Zambia before anything else. That's why you have to think. Do not go with mob psychology. Do not go with baseless affinity for people. Think about Zambia and then look at these candidates objectively. Who is saying they will bring the change that will save Zambia from the course, the destructive course on which it is right now? Watch this guy. I encourage you to watch this guy, Seve Chishimba. And it's all up to us, So I come back to the question, who do you want to trust with a country? I will trust the country with somebody that has been crying over this land for over 10 years. I've seen this guy cry over Zambia. I've seen this guy kneel down and essentially appealing to Mr. Lungu to just die a little. Can you just die a little for Zambia? And his words have fallen on deaf ears. He has been crying over Zambia when everybody thought he was mad. If there's anybody that deserves to be given a chance, you don't give somebody a chance just because they've failed 5 times. This is not a sympathy game, guys. That you are talking about one man versus 18 million people. You don't simply get, oh, geez, lekeni nawe nabadirepo. Ikukutontonganya kwa bulamano. Ukukutontonganya kwa bulamano. If you are bati, yo lekeni nawe nadirepo. That kind of thinking is not patriotic. I'm telling you that now. It's not patriotic. You don't love your country if you think like that. You don't love your country. You might think you do. You do not love your country if you think like that. Yo lekeni nawe nabadirepo. So, let's change the way we think. Let's help others change the way they think. Let's help people in the villages and everybody to change the way they think. Let's think about the leadership of our country becoming more youthful, because old people do not have ambitions. You cannot have ambitions backwards. You are in the afternoon of your life. You cannot have an ambition. It's the young people who have ambitions. This guy is 46 years old. He's 46 years old. And you can see the drive, the passion, the fury over what Zambia has become. If you are that furious, you can make a difference. They say anger is not a good thing. No. Sometimes it takes anger in order to make a difference. It takes that much anger to make a difference. I'm serious. The change we are looking for is this guy. It's the guy is the best thing that we have right now. It's the best thing there is in Zambia, right? For Zambia right now. It's this guy. We need to take a chance on this guy. Take a chance on this guy. We are in Tanshbandu. The progress of the country is in our hands. And we only have one Zambia. We only have one Zambia. It's a matter of how long do you want it to go on bleeding? How long do you want Zambia to go on bleeding? And it's all in our hands. We can change this whole thing next year. We can change this whole thing next year, or we can let a whole bunch of people that have congregated under HH or something, all those fools, William Banda, who used to kill people in the MMD, and all those bunch of crap people, they are all in the MMD right now, taking it over. You can allow them, you can send them back. You can send them back into the government machinery. The systems will stay the same, corrupt, and no change will come to Zambia. It will be just as simple as that. So, anyway, guys, that will be it for today. I think this is 50 minutes is too long. So, please, I'll be posting some more videos. I'm passionate about my country. We all love our country. You know, I love you, my fellow citizens, as well. You know, I love Zambia. It's because of who we are. You, me, we are Zambians. We are Zambians. And patriotism also means caring and loving your fellow citizens. You know, and that's why I call my fellow citizens. I feel a sense of pride when I say my fellow citizens, because it goes to say, you know, we share the same heritage, we share the same roots, we were nursed by the same motherland. That is a stronger bond than anything else. That's what draws us to Zambia together. It draws us to the same place, to the same origins, to the same source. And let's all think about our motherland and do the right thing next year. Listen to this man who has been crying over Zambia for a long time. If you feel his pain, if you feel his anguish, which you should, because we all love Zambia, then we can do, maybe we can take a chance on this guy. Seriously, because what he's proposing is practical. He has been all over the world studying governments just for this. Okay. if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. It's it'll be worth it. I'll be publishing a lot of stuff here. Please hit subscribe. You should see the button to your lower left. Hit subscribe, and so you can get some notifications when I publish some videos. So please do that for me. And guys, let's think about who we are. Let's think about Zambia. Let's put Zambia first. And I'll be seeing you again in a couple of days, or in a day, or tomorrow. You never know. If something comes up, I'm gonna make a comment on it. So I hope everything that I've said, get somebody thinking, or if you have a perspective to share, please feel free to share it. You may not. You can share it on below here on this YouTube channel, or you can share it on my Facebook, where this is linked to, where this is on my on the Facebook on Facebook, so we can have a discussion. All right. Be well, fellow citizens. All right, bye.